So hello students, so I am Professor N.G. Pardeshi from Sanjeevani College of Engineering. So here I am to teach you the theory of computation. So prerequisites for this particular subjects are discrete mathematics and data structures. So all of you are aware with these two subjects. Already you have studied this in the second year. So you must know the concepts from these subjects to study this theory of computation. So in this particular subject, in this class we will learn in brief about the introduction of this particular subject, theory of computation. So what we have to study in this subject, and so why it is important to study this subject, or its major objectives and outcomes. So first we will see the basics about this. So theory of computation. So theory of computation, so it is basically the branch of computer science. So it deals with how efficiently the problems can be solved. Okay, so how efficiently the problems can be solved on a model of computation, okay, using an algorithm. Okay, so it is the branch of computer science that deals with how efficiently problems can be solved on a model of computation using an algorithm. So this theory of computation field is divided into three major branches. So they are basically the automata theory and language. Okay, so automata theory, then second is computability theory, and third is complexity theory. So in this subject, so we have to study these three major branches of this theory of computation. So all 6 units are based on these three, that is automata theory, computability theory, and complexity theory. Okay, now we'll see one by one in brief about this in this class. Okay, now the complexity theory. So what this complexity theory is? Now the main question asked in this is in this area is, what makes some problem computationally hard and other problems easy? Okay, so a problem is called easy if it is efficiently solvable. Okay, so there are two categories, the hard problems and easy problems. So hard and easy. Okay, so problem is easy if it is efficiently solvable. Okay, so for example, so example of easy problem, so sorting a sequence of, for example, 10 lakh numbers, so it is easy problem. Okay, or searching for a name in a telephone directory. Okay, so it is again is example of easy problem. Okay, so computationally easy to solve. Then the hard problems, so problem is called hard if it cannot be solved efficiently. Okay, so if it cannot be solved efficiently, or if we don't know whether it can be solved efficiently. Okay, for example, factoring a 300 digit integer, okay, to its prime factors. So this is computationally hard problem or complex problem. Okay, so central objective of this complexity theory is classify the problem according to their degree of difficulty. Okay, and give the proof that the problems that seem to be hard are really hard. Okay, so they are really hard. So main objective of this complexity theory so is to classify the problems according to their degree of difficulty. Okay, and we give the proof. So the problems that seem to be hard are really hard. So this is the important thing in complexity theory. Okay, so computationally hard problems and easy problems. Now next is computability theory. So in the 1930s, so the scientists Gödel, Turing and Church discovered that some of the fundamental mathematical problems, so fundamental mathematical problems cannot be solved by a computer. So they cannot be solved by computer. So to attack such problems, so we need formal definitions of notions of computer, algorithm and computation. Okay. The theoretical models that were proposed, so theoretical models that were proposed in order to understand solvable and unsolvable problems led to the development of real computers. Okay. So theoretical models that were proposed in order to understand solvable and unsolvable problems so led to the development of real computers. So central objective in computability theory is so classify the problems as being solvable or unsolvable. Okay. So that is the main objective in computability theory. So to classify the problems as solvable problem and unsolvable problems. Okay. So three main scientists, that is Gödel, Turing and Church, discovered that some problems cannot be solved by computer. Okay, and this computability theory is here useful. Okay, to find out solvable and unsolvable problems or to classify them. Now next is third point. So in theory of computation, so it is automata theory. Now what this automata theory is? So automata theory deals with definitions and properties of different types of computation models. Okay, definitions and properties of different types of computation models. Now for example, so computation models are finite automata. So finite automata is one of the computation model. So it is used in text processing. So it is used in text processing as well as in compilers and in hardware design. Okay. So automata theory deals with the so to study the properties of this mathematical model. So again its definition as well. Okay. So next type of the computation model, so it is context free grammars. So context free grammars, so these are used to define programming languages and in also in artificial intelligence. So it is used to define programming languages and also in artificial intelligence. So also this grammar, so it is used again to check the whether that different hierarchical constructs, so they are belongs to that programming languages or not. Okay. So next computation model is Turing machine. So Turing machine, so this form a simple abstract model of a real computer. So this form the simple abstract model of the real computer, such as your PC or personal computer at home. Okay. So central question or central objective of this automata theory is, okay, so does these models have the same power or can one model solve more problems than the other? Okay. So does this model have the same power or can one model solve more problems than the other? So automata theory do this study, okay, of all the different models and find out so the power of these different models. Okay. So next point is the purpose and the motivation of this theory of computation. Okay. So what is the motivation of this? Okay. So motivation behind this theory of computation. So what are the mathematical properties of a computer hardware and software? So first question here it is, what are the mathematical properties of computer hardware and software? To study this, we must have the theory of computation. Then what is the computation and what is an algorithm? So what is the computation and what is an algorithm? Can we give mathematical definitions of this? So can we give mathematical definitions of this? Then what are the limitations of computers? What are the limitations of computers? Can everything be computed? Okay. So these questions, so to solve these questions, we should have a study of theory of computation. Okay. So major objective or the purpose of this theory of computation, so develop the formal mathematical models of computation that reflect real world computers. Okay. So major objective of this theory of computation subject is develop the formal mathematical models of computation that reflect real world computers. Okay, so these are the three major important branches, that is complexity theory, compatibility theory, and the automata theory. Okay, so that we have to study in this subject, theory of computation. Okay. So all 6 units, so they cover all these three branches, so in depth. Okay, so this subject is again problem oriented, so all of you must have the in detail practice. Okay, you have to solve the lot many problems on each topic. You have to do the practice, so then and only then so you will be able to uh, solve these different problems properly. So in the next class, so we'll start with the basics requirements for this different computational models. Okay. Okay. Thank you.